Welcome back to Kelt's Getting the Most Out of Blackboard series. Today we'll be taking a look at the Grade Center. To access the Grade Center, scroll down the navigation bar until you see Grade Center. It will be under the Course Management section right here. There's an arrow with a drop down, so if it looks like this, you can click that. And now let's click on Full Grade Center. Alright, this should show you your Grade Center. On this screen, you can view your students' scores. Now this is just a practice course, so all I have is a preview student, but I've put some grades in to give us an idea of what this might look like. So notice, first of all, that each of these columns was created by me creating an assignment or a test of some sort in one of my content folders. Every time I deploy a test or deploy an assignment, it automatically creates a column. So I don't have to create a column for assignments and assessments that I created, deployed, and graded in Blackboard. Those will automatically be here, just as if I grade it on Blackboard, it will automatically populate into the gradebook. Ignore those little yellow triangles. That means that I've overridden that grade. Since this is a pretend student, I just put some grades in for them. Let's look at some of the other things that we can do in Gradebook. This is a total running calculation of just the points available. So if I put these in as points, for instance, this one was worth 20 points, this person was able to earn 18 points. This one was worth 10 points, and the student was able to earn 5 points. So these are shown as total points. I can change that to show percentage, or I can leave it as total points. The same thing is true for my total column. This column is showing how many points out of points available this person has received. So if I go to edit column information, here's the name, it's already in total. I can give it a Grade Center name if I prefer. There's a description already, the unweighted sum of all grades for a user, so all of the points divided by points possible. Now I have mine set to percentage. It defaults to score, but I like to see what is the percentage. So it's up to you whether you want to leave it as score and you're just looking at the total points they've accumulated, or percentage and it's giving you the percentage of the total. If you do total points and you don't do weighted, then you definitely want to leave it at percentage so that you can see what their grade is. Now if you still like seeing the score, you can do a secondary display which gives you the score. But that gets a little crowded, so I'm going to leave mine at none. Alright, I'm going to submit that. Okay, so you can see it's showing the percentage, what percentage of points possible they have earned. And so if I were grading this from the standpoint of just total points, if I wasn't using any kind of weighting, that would be their grade. Then I have weighted total, because I like to give things weights. Different categories. I can go to edit column information, and this is where I will decide what the weights are. So this is the weighted sum of all grades for a user based on item or category weighting. Here again I've chosen percentage. This is where you're going to choose, and I've just put in some preliminary categories. When you're first setting this up, this is empty. But I wanted to show you what it looks like when you have your percentages in. You have your categories will be listed here. If you want to add a category, you highlight it and you click the arrow, and now that category is here. If I want to delete it, I press the X. It's no longer on this side. My total weight should equal 100. So I weighted mine. The discussion is worth 10%, assignments are worth 20%, journal is worth 20%, test is worth 50%. It's up to you how you want to weight it. I basically just wanted it to add up to 100. I'm calculating it as a running total. I'm going to include this in the Grade Center calculations. I want students to see this because this is what I'm using as their grade. And I submit. Another thing that you might need to know if you're going to be using weighted totals is you might need to know how to create categories. These are the categories that are automatically added in. They're automatically in your Grade Center. But maybe you have other categories that you would like to use. In that case, you would want to create a category. Perhaps you need a category for projects. You could also include a description if you want. Submit. That is now one of your categories. These categories that were already here cannot be deleted, but ones that you've created can be. They can also be edited. You can add however many categories you need, and now they will show up in your categories when you go to create a column. So let's say I create a column, and this is for something that I did not put on Blackboard. Perhaps this is a participation. I want to know whether someone participated in something that we did in class. Perhaps they were supposed to turn in an item. So I can put that here in the description. Turned in forms. For this, I'm not going to be giving them a score. So I can mark it either complete or incomplete. I can choose if I want to put it into a category. But since I'm not giving this a score, I'm going to choose no category. No points possible. I can choose a due date. Whether it is shown in the gradebook or whether it's a part of the calculations, it's not. Do I want students to be able to see it? Well, it depends if I'm just keeping this record for myself or whether they also need to know whether they've turned it in. Submit. Now, that column is right here, and I can put a yes or a no that they completed it or they didn't complete it. If I go to Manage, I can go to Column Organization, and maybe I would like the student ID to be next to the name. I can change that, reorder that. Same with the columns in my gradebook. That participation one showed up all the way at the end, but maybe I would like it to be up here where I can see that they have participated or that they haven't participated. Now things are in the order that I chose. Another feature that's helpful about Grade Center is the ability to create smart views. When I click on Smart View, it automatically gives me a few suggestions. I can look at all of the tests. I can look at all of the journals. So I can separate these by category. But maybe I have other criteria that I would like to use. So I can create a smart view. I would want to give it a name. Maybe I want to use a certain group of students. We'll call them Group A. I can give them a description. I can add as a favorite so that I'm able to pull it up quickly. Now, how am I going to separate them? Performance, user, category and status, custom build a query based on user criteria. I want to separate them by user. I'm looking for certain students. I can select the users that I want to include in my smart view. Submit. Now I have Group A. I can pull up everyone who I selected for Group A, which right now is only one poor little student. But if I had selected several students, they would all be available by pulling up that Smart View.